Remember, the sun was just rising for people in the south, right to left. If we were watching that same sunrise, it would come here and we would see it go left to right. There's only one shape in the world that can show us why we see that. So again, one more time, we're just going to look at this. You saw what we expect on the flat Earth. We are here in Punta Arenas. We know which way west is, okay? But we had to turn this way to see the sun go this way. Where's the sun going? Like, that alone should be the end. Let alone the fact that then we went to Punta Arenas. We went to Union Glacier, which is out here somewhere. And at midnight, where was the sun? We saw the sun over here. So we were in Antarctica looking at the sun south of us, and we called Australia and said, hey, where's the sun? They said, it's above our head. It's here? Yes, it's here. No, we see it over here. Yeah, but it's here. Okay, well, is there a model that says that's what you should expect and see? Well, of course. The globe says that when you see the sun here, it's shining above the heads of people in Australia over there. So it doesn't match at all observations, and we actually have a model that says this is what the observations will be, right? So we see the sunset here. We see the light over there. It's 11:30, 12:30 at night. We're like, what the hell's going on? The sun needs to be going the other direction. It just barely stays under there for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. And then it pops right back up. Now remember, this is in the southeast. Okay. Now you might even ask, watch this. So this sun is rising right to left. There it goes. Now you might say, well, Jaron, how the hell does that rise left to right for somebody in the north? Well, let me show you. Because it's a nature of the sphere. So if we pull back from here and we're going to go this way and head north, we get past we're up here at the tropic. There we go. We'll get down to the ground. Remember, the sun was just rising for people in the south, right to left. If we were watching that same sunrise, it would come here and we would see it go left to right. There's only one shape in the world that can show us why we see that. There's only one shape that says you in the north will see something different than you in the south because of the very nature of the shape that you're on. It'd be very difficult to map an Earth somewhere it isn't and it match observations. If that were possible, there would be a flat Earth map. We would have a flat Earth map that worked because we just mapped it on the Earth, even though its observations don't match. Well, you can't match the Earth on a flat map because the observations don't match. That should be the clue to flat Earthers that something's wrong. And if something's wrong, you should look around till you find a map or model that accounts for everything. So I know that if we went to these locations, this is what we'd see the sun do. How do I know that? Because nobody's ever debunked Google Earth, which would be very easy. Go to a location, watch the sun. If the sun goes the other way, we got problems. It's never happened and it never will. Isn't that crazy that we see the sun move left to right? The south sees it move right to left drastically. And Joe Hamby's going around telling flat earthers that the sun goes the same direction. Only one direction. That's what do you mean? We just saw the sun go left to right for us, but it went for people in the south right to left. So that's a paradox. On a flat earth, it is a paradox. You can't say the sun goes one direction, but it goes in two different directions for two people facing the same direction. That means the sun doesn't go in the same direction. So flat earth cannot answer that. So they must just dismiss it and say, oh, well, it just goes one direction and counterclockwise and clockwise are BS. No, think about it. The sun has to go around the north in the northern summer and has to go around the south in the southern summer. 6 months later, it's now going around the north. And you could go up to the north to the same latitude that we were at in Punta Arenas, and you would see the same sunrise and sunset, but it would go the other direction. Left to right, rise, left to right, set. And that's how you know you're on a globe. There's no other shape. There'll never be another shape. There'll never be another map. There'll never be another competitor. The only two possible choices were the flat AE map or the globe, because both had some things kind of correct. However, they had a drastic difference. Shout out to Will Duffy for calling that difference out and not letting flat earthers get away with waffling, saying, we think this, we think that. I thought the earth was flat because I thought the south was a lie. How long would I have gone on with that belief? I don't know if I would have ever come to an end of it. So now that I know that I've seen it, I don't know how to convey that to other people other than to challenge them to go down and see it themselves. go to Punta Arenas. If that's too expensive, go to Alaska. I want to see what Punta Arenas latitude is. 37, is that what it is? Or 57? I mean, 53? No, I don't remember. Punta, yeah, 53. Okay, so 53 south, and let's see where 53 north is. British Columbia, 53, Edmonton. Oh, Edmonton's there. Really? So now if we go to Edmonton and we look at June 13th, watch the sunset be exactly what I just said. See, this is where I understand what they're talking about now when they say, we predict this, we predict that. This is a big thing in the fact that I can just say that. And so, oh, now I know that 6 months later, and then if I go and it does that, then we need to start recognizing that that is a predictive model. And if it matches reality, we live there. So let me go down here, and we're going to get down to 53. And we're going to go to about June 12th, 13th, because I think that's where we were at. Let's move this way. So now we're looking north, west. We're going to see this way. Okay, so we've got June 14th. Back to the days. Okay, June 14th, and we got a sunrise, sunset. Okay, so let's look. So now you'll notice that the sun sets left to right, as we called for. And look at this is just the opposite of what we just saw in Punta Arenas. A drastic sun left to right. Now it's going to go there, and you can see the light as you scan the northern horizon. So this is the proof. And there is no getting around it, and there is no questioning it, and there is no rebuttal, and there is no way around it. So flat earthers will have to ignore this. They can't discuss it. There's no discussion. There goes the sun rising in the northeast, left to right, because you're in the north. So do you see that it's the exact same 6 months later in the other hemisphere, because the north and the south are complete and total 100% opposites? This explains the 24-hour sun in the north 6 months later in the south. Explains the rise and set of every sun that we see. Explains the reason why. If a flat earther became the go-to belief, and somebody says, hey, how come I see the sun set left to right and you see it set right to left? There would be no answer. Joe Hamby would pop in and say, oh, it's the same direction. They say, no, but sir, I see it go, well, yeah, it's because of perspective. You're looking, your left is my right. No, we're both looking west. Yeah, but still, it's clockwise, counterclockwise. It's meant to trick you. And if you say that enough, people just start believing that. And they don't realize that the actual path of the sun, this is why I say, I believe that there's a lot of allegory in the Bible. And when God gives you his one and only son to be a guiding light for the peoples, for the nations, I look at that and say, well, God gave us one son to be a guiding light. That son tells you where you live without NASA, without books, without education, without teachers, without professors, without help, without authority, without government, without parents. You can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. You can go and verify what I just showed you, and then you know the shape of the earth. And if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me another shape that would give us the same results and matches all observations. And the answer is you never will.